So we went ahead and chose the officers for the club. Timmy is our secretary, and then Hunter Byerly is in charge of the Mac software and stuff. So I'll send you guys his contact information if you need software for Macs. And we're going to go over HTML first, because even if you have no other languages, you're still going to need a way to distribute your software, and HTML is kind of the best way to do that. So what program we're going to use is NetBeans because it's free and it's a pretty good software. So I'm going to show you how to download it right now. Just Google NetBeans. And you can just click the download link on the home page. When you're on the NetBeans download page, choose the PHP option right there. That's also HTML. You can download that.
Pretty close. I'll just finish. With, of course, I have Windows 10. I decided
Run. Okay. And then just next. 3.
I should have a reason file.
Okay, and now in NetBeans, to create a new website, what you need to do is go up to File, New Project, and you're going to select PHP, and just PHP application. Next, and type the name of your project here. And you can just leave all these settings as is and press finish. Okay, so now we have a HTML document up here. When you created the project, it automatically created your home page right here. And what you're going to notice first is the HTML tags that surround the entire web page. Those are the main tags for HTML, and they surround everything on your web page. And then the next section is head. That's all the back-end stuff. It's none of the stuff you see on the web page. It's like the page title, anything the browser needs to know to load the web page. And then the body, that's where you put the main HTML content and what everyone will see. So what I'm going to do first is do a header tag, and that's H1. And whenever you type most tags, you're going to need to close it with a / and then the same thing as the first tag here. So the H1 is your first tag, and then the -H1 would be your second tag. And whatever you want to be inside that header there, you just type it in between those two tags. Like, and then you can save this web page to test it, see what that will look like. And NetBeans puts all your projects in a folder called NetBeans in your documents. And then just the name of your website. Okay, here's the problem. NetBeans is going to save your document as a PHP file, but to view it without a server, it needs to be in HTML. So you're going to need to do save as, file, save as, and instead of PHP, you want to do .html, so you can load it without a server. Okay, and that's what a header will look like. and the headers are just text. They're similar to the text tag, but the main benefit is when Google or a similar search engine looks at your site, they'll pay more attention to your header tags. So put like titles, anything really important on your website and headers, so Google will list that information higher in the search results compared to the other information on your page. And you can do any H tag up to 6, so like H1, H2, H3, all the way up to H6. And these are all header tags, except the only difference is the number 1 is going to be the biggest and the number 6 is going to be the smallest.
Does Google pay any more attention to heading 1 than heading 6?
Yes, I think so. And all the search engines do it differently, so I can't tell which way is the best, but generally put the most important in H1 and the least important in H6. So see, those are the different sizes there. And then all your regular text, all the main text for your website will go into the P tag, which is just your regular text there, and that's the paragraph. And the paragraph is actually larger than the last header, so that never made sense to me, but that's how they do it. And on these tags, if you don't like the style or size of a certain paragraph or header tag, you can always change that with CSS, and we'll get into that later. Okay. And the next tag you might want to do is the link, which is A, and then inside the link you're going to need a something like href, and you're going to need to have whatever page you want the link to go to. So like if I want to link this page to itself, it would be a href equals index HTML. And when you're doing something like that inside the tag, you want to make sure it has the parentheses around the text, so the browser can tell the difference between the tag and the location of where it's going to. So we could just say link. And also that text between the A tags is what the browser will display. And when you click on the text, it will go to this page right here. So there's the link, and it just went to the same page. And another thing about links is right here, you notice I don't have anything like HTTP before it, which if you're going to the same website, you don't need the HTTP. But if we wanted to go to a different website like Google, you have to add the HTTP before the web address, so the browser knows that you're going to a new website instead of staying inside the same website. As you can see, it goes to Google. Okay, the last tag I'm going to go over right now is the image tag. And instead of href, you use src. And that's the location of whatever image you want to use. So I'm going to go create an image right now.
Excellent image.
And you want to make sure you save it to the same folder as your website.
Does it matter which file it is?
No, it doesn't.
As long as it's an image file.
Yeah, it needs to be. Well, it needs to be one of the main image files, but as long as it's recognizable by most computers, it will be fine.
Okay.
Like, you don't want a Photoshop file,
Yeah.
because you need Photoshop to view that, but any of these right here are fine.
Can GIS be animated?
It can be animated, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
And for an animation, you would use a GIF. Okay. And now I just saved that as hello.gif. Unlike the tags we were going over up here, you do not need the ending /image tag for image. You just need this main tag right here. And right here where I did hello.gif, I don't need any forward slashes or anything in front of it because it's in the same folder. But if I put it in a different folder, I would need, if I like put in a folder inside the website folder, I could do something like, so the website would know which folder it's in. And I'm going to save it and refresh it here. As you can see, it loaded. And now, I didn't specify the width or height right here, so it just automatically did the original image size. But if I want the image to be smaller, I can do something like width equals 100 px, and that's 100 pixels wide. I can also specify the height. I could do like 300 pixels high. And it's mad for some reason, but that's correct. So as you can see, it's resized, and I've messed up the aspect ratio so it looks weird, but it is a different size. Okay, now I'm going to go over CSS for these here. And there are a couple of different ways to do CSS, but right now I'm just going to use this style attribute. Later we'll get into like CSS sheets and stuff, but this is the easiest way, so I'm going to go over this first. And if you want to change the font size, let's say, you just use font-size, and you can do maybe the default values in HTML are something like medium, large, small, X large, and it, as you can see here, it goes all the way to XX large. I think you can even do like XXX. But I'm just going to do this for now, smaller. There we go. And now that's smaller. And another way you can do this is if you have a specific size you need it to be, you can do like 12 pt. And that's the same as Microsoft Word. And it's, as you can see, it's much smaller there. I'm just going to leave this as. And then if you want to change the font family to something like Arial, it's just font family, pretty simple. But what you need to remember when doing fonts is it needs to be something that a lot of computers can recognize, like Arial, Times New Roman, Calibri, there are several others. But if you do like some not well-used font that's only on your computer, other people won't be able to use that font because they don't have it installed on their computer already. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put up the web page here. As you can see when I refresh it, it's now a different font. you might want to do to the font is change the color. So that would just be color. And then you can do either two things here. You can do something like red, just a word. And I'll go ahead and show that to you. And then it will change the color there. Or if you need a really specific color, you can use the hex code, which is number sign, and then it has 6 digits. And this right here, that's the hex code for black. And for different colors, you can look them up online. So you can Google something like hex color selector. And a tool like this will let you choose any color that computer support, which is pretty much every color. And it will give you right here at the top, that's the hex code for the color. So I'm going to copy that there and paste it into the website. Mark refresh. It's the same color I chose there. And another thing you might need to do is change the bold of the font. So that would be font weight. It's bolded already on the website for the header. Headers are bolded already, so what I'm going to do is font weight normal, and that's going to mean no bold. And as you can see, it's not bolded anymore. I'm going to go ahead and go back to red because green is kind of hard to see. And what you can also do is you can have values like bolder, and I think there's also a boldest. So if you want to change how thick the font is, you would use one of those. I'm just going to leave it at normal right now though. And then you also have font style, and that is anything like italic. I'll go ahead and add that in there. Italic. As you can see, it's now italic. And the last thing I'm going to do is a font. So it's text. Oh yeah, text align. I need to go over that one too. Text align, you can do stuff like center, right align, left align, and justify. And I'm doing center right now. As you can see, it moves to the center of the page, pretty simple. And if you do something like justify, it will put the font in kind of like a newspaper-like style, so it ends and starts at the same position on each line, and adjust the spacing. This isn't a good example because we only have one line of text here, but if you have a lot of text, it will start and end at the same spot. And I'll type a whole bunch here so you have a good example. Okay, still not a very good example, but what it's going to do is all the lines will end here, and all the lines will start at the same spot. With regular text, it will kind of vary on this side depending how long your words are. Okay. And the last one is text. There's one, it's like text, decoration, that's what it is. text decoration, that's like underline, overline, strike through. So if you want to have your text underlined, that would do it. And one helpful thing I found when using text decoration is if you go to a link, and let's say you don't want your links underlined, because that doesn't always look good on a website, you can do style, text decoration, text decoration none. And as you can see here, there's no underline on the link anymore. So that can be helpful for certain websites. And I think that's what I'm going to go over right now. So I'm just going to let you guys kind of test out the code for yourself now and ask any questions about it. So yeah, if you guys want to try making a website for yourself, or go ahead.
How would you make an image a link?
Yeah, that's a good point. If you, it's the same as your regular image tag here, except you're gonna put, it's the same as your regular link tag here, except you put the image tag inside the link. And then I'm going to refresh this. And as you can see, it put a border around it. And there are ways to get rid of that border, so I'll go over that later. And you click it, it's a link. Anything else?
What about mouse over pictures? So when you mouse over it, it changes the picture.
That's JavaScript. That's a little more complicated, so I'm gonna go over that on another day. But yeah, anything else? Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to just test out the code for yourself and stuff, you can get grouped by someone with a computer if you want to.